Okay, so it should be a private video. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, looks like it's private. So, are you there? Hello? Hey. Hare Krishna. I think it's private. I hope so. Hey, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. I think this is private. It said only invite specific friends, and all I did was invite you. You know, so
Okay.
only show to specific. So I think it's private. That wouldn't be very good if it wasn't, would it? I mean,
Yeah.
Connecting.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's really it's really sad that you know we have to do a private session.
No, it isn't sad. Nothing's sad. Come on. I have a
Well, you know
feeling.
what I mean.
Sad isn't in my. It's not in my vocabulary anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't like getting hit in the head with rocks. So people have been throwing rocks at me.
It's all part of the drama, it's just part of the.
Yeah, I guess.
All life's
They
a
just call me
stage.
knothead.
What was Shakespeare? All life's a stage, it's just a big performance.
It is. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's like no matter what you say, somebody's going to get upset.
Right.
I'm getting it on all angles now. I posted something to try and support a person who was trying to reveal their heart, and everybody just jumped all over it, and I'm like I had to amend my post. Like,
Oh yeah. Let me get my little table that I can set in front of me so I don't have to hold my phone.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I forgot about the little table. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
See here.
Krishna.
I forgot to set up my little table. Let's see here what I can do. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi
Hare Krishna.
Gaura
Hare Krishna.
Govinda.
Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
Okay. See if that's better.
You're looking good.
Thank you. You too.
And the Dorothy in Kansas program out there, huh?
Yeah, it's Oklahoma, and just a few days ago, like maybe 4 days ago, there was a tornado directly straight down my road, about 15-minute drive, about 10-minute drive, exactly straight down my road, and it took out some farms. Yeah,
Do you have a shelter, like a cellar or something that?
Yes, I'm sitting, well, yeah, I'm sitting on top of my storm cellar right now.
Mm.
Uh, I have a, I have a storm cellar, of course, and, I built this room here, on top of it. So all I got to do is jump down. it's, it's a pretty good sized storm cellar. Uh, I've had a, I had a bed set up there one time, and, canned goods and stuff like that. Uh,
Yeah, every area has its thing. We've got all kinds of stuff that goes on here too. Yeah.
right. Yeah, you get hurricanes.
You get tornadoes too, hurricanes, tornadoes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
And
Well, you're dealing with one right now, so Hare Krishna.
yeah, I think it's gonna slide by, uh, just to the east of me. This is what it looks like on the radar. It's gonna go by, and but it's pretty dark outside right now. The clouds are looking scary.
Oh yeah, it puts you in a whole nother space. Um, is there a season for them? Like,
Uh,
or could they have them
generally
anytime?
summer,
Huh?
generally summer, and you know, we have right here where I live, we have the National Weather Service here. And the reason we have the National Weather Service here is because where I'm at, in the center, right in the center of Oklahoma, the weather is not predictable. We have four weather convergences. We get the jet stream down from the Arctic. It comes right. Imagine my nose is Oklahoma City. We get the jet stream that comes from the north down, and it goes right here. And we get the jet stream from the Gulf, and it comes up and meets right here, and from the east and from the west. So it's really unpredictable, and this is why the National Weather Service has set up here, just south of me, in Norman, and big.
And the terrain is such that there's nothing to stop it. It's just so flat and open.
Well, it's not. It's not as flat right here. Oklahoma's not as flat as people think. It's not like Kansas.
Mm.
Kansas is flat, and that's just north of me, and the state north of me. But Oklahoma's really not that flat. We have a lot of mountains in eastern Oklahoma, and just south of me, what they call mountains. I'm used to the Alps, so these are just hills, really. Anything that doesn't have rock on top of it is considered a hill. Anything below 2,000 feet is considered a hill. But
Yeah, you were in Germany for a while.
Germany and Austria. In the 70s, I was living in Switzerland.
Why were you there? Military?
Excuse me?
Why were you there? Military?
No. Originally, I went to Europe. I went to the University of Lausanne, Switzerland, when I got out of high school from 74 to 77, and I was in the Mideast, also doing some studies in Israel. And then when I had a chance to retire, I retired in 2006, partially, and in 2009 I permanently retired, and wanted to go, but always wanted to go back to the Alps, Switzerland and Austria. So I did that, and I got my European residency in Germany. But I couldn't get it in Austria or Switzerland.
Do you speak German?
Kleine, little bit. I'm forgetting it. I've been back 2 years now. And, I got stuck here. I came back in 2019. I had just had kidney surgery on my, which kidney was it? I've had 11 kidney surgeries. Anyway, I just had kidney surgery in Germany. Let me see here. That was on my left, no, my right kidney. I had just had surgery. I've got insurance in Germany, and I had kidney surgery on my right kidney. They did 3 surgeries, and I had I was good to go. And so I came back here to visit my kids, and I was only here a month, and my left kidney started giving me problems. So they did 3 surgeries on my left side, and now I'm stuck here because of this COVID. And
yuck.
now,
what did you study that you were over there, went to the university?
I studied religion.
Oh my God. And how did you make money? There's no money in religion. Did you make money in music?
Well, I had help. I went over there on an art scholarship.
I hate to be nosy like this, but I'm just dying of
No.
What?
No, I went over on an art scholarship.
Art
Scholarship, and that wasn't going to cover everything. And I had been a church member, and everything, and my church helped me out. They paid, my father was, he was like a deacon in the church and everything since 1960.
And you were going to go study, and you were going to study religion, so they were happy, right? You were going to study religion.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
And they helped me out. They paid for everything that I couldn't, and for quite a while, I had to kind of piggyback on a few other students, and so I really didn't get credits. But I wasn't in it for the credits. I was in it for the experience and for learning. I think I talked to you before.
I think they call that auditing. You would like auditing your education was.
Auditing?
Yeah, when somebody attends classes and studies in the university, but it's not for credits, they call it. I don't know. It's just a word, but I know what you said. I get
right.
Yeah.
We had talked before, and I shared some things with you. I think on our last messenger call that we did. That
in discussing about Srila Gaura Haridas, I think part of what's causing some separation is that you're actually pretty intelligent, and you're accustomed to studying and thinking about things and analyzing. You have that ability, like you're attracted to knowledge. And his program isn't really attracted to doing that. It's just a different way of approaching Krishna. And I think that's what's causing like the separation there, is that it's part of you. You naturally, you went to university, you studied this, you're a musician, you're an art scholarship. You've got all these things going, and most of the people that are following him, they don't have that. It's not part of what they do.
I never thought about it like that, but yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of like in a different space. They're kind of like, they're not accustomed to. So I think that's what causes the little bit of a separation between me and them also, is that I have a taste for that. I have a taste for understanding, and it's a different mode. That's why I was reading about the modes. It's more in the mode of
Right.
goodness. And what happens is the modes are always fighting with each other, and the mode of passion tries to take over, then the mode of ignorance, and so they don't get along really well.
Mm-hmm.
The pure devotion has nothing to do with modes. Has nothing to do with goodness, passion, or ignorance. It's pure devotion. But on the way to that, we're influenced, and I think probably influenced a little bit more by the mode of goodness, and maybe they're delving a little bit more into like ignorance and passion, which Hare Krishna, we're all different, situated differently, and I think that's what's causing the dissonance. And I think Srila Gauridas understands that, but I don't think his followers. Anybody's in the mode of goodness, they're an enemy. They don't understand it. How there's a taste in understanding about how things work, and it's like, you're in Maya, I'm not in Maya.
Yeah.
So
right.
It's tricky, but it's everybody has their gifts, and you can get, everybody's giving some mercy somehow, so I just don't think a lot of devotees understand how the modes of material nature are affecting them and the way they see other people and other devotees, and so it's like, do you know what I'm getting at? Maybe.
Yeah. It's like this with me. To me, okay. I think it's about Krishna. Okay. This is where my direction's going. It's about Krishna. I can associate with, living where I was in Germany. Okay, I lived at a very nice place, and it was a very special place. People would come from all over the world just to go to this house where I was staying at, because Krishna is alive there, and it's a very special place. And Krishna is alive, Jesus is alive there, and people would come from all over the world, and just to visit, and have an experience, and all of our devotee friends, we all had different Sikhi gurus. Everyone's in a different temple. A lot of mix of friends, and some had left. One of my friends had left the ISKCON temple in London, and some of the devotees, are still in that temple, but they come and we worship Krishna. There's not any rock throwing. There's not any, you're a traitor. There's none of that going on. There's no rock throwing. That's just silliness. That's childish. And I'm not into that. And I don't appreciate it. And I don't appreciate being offended by somebody calling me Judas. And I'm really not offended. Krishna is offended, not me.
I think you hit the nail on the head, though. I think you say childish. Childish.
It is.
Childish.
I just want to worship Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
And
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Rama, people that are.
But before I do that, let me just take a swing at them. Just one swing,
That
please.
does sometimes cross the mind. But
it would feel good for a half a second. I know it would. Just let me take a swing.
yeah, that little runt, I could tear him apart. I boxed my way through high school. I mean, Lord, I boxed for 5 years in school.
What haven't you done? My goodness. All of this, and you still have that Midwest twang. My goodness.
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lose my train of thought really easy. You know, and earlier when we messaged, you know, I told you that I have fleeting thoughts, and sometimes my thoughts will leave before they get to my tongue. And I'm going to tell you.
Frustrating, yeah.
Well, let me tell you what happened. I was in a, it wasn't even a car accident. This was in 2009. There was about 6 cars involved, and somebody took off and then somebody stopped. Okay, well, we were all waiting to go, and we all took off, and then we had to stop, and everybody just bumped each other's bumper.
Piled up. It was like a pile up.
Yeah, it was just like a 1 mile an hour.
Oh.
You know, everybody just bumped each other. No big deal. Now my airbag sensor on my car directly hit this trailer hitch on this truck in front of me, you know, and my airbag went off, and you know, I just cut it off with my pocket knife, and we all left. Everything, no big deal, you know, no big deal. And about it, this was on a Friday. And this was in 2009, I think August 9th. But anyway, that happened on a Friday morning. I was out doing service work. You know, I did hospice work. And anyway, I was coming home when that happened. And but the next few days, everything started to look a little strange to me. And not understanding, you know, why or anything. And a week later to that day, I was visiting my daughter and having coffee, and I lapsed into a coma. And I was in a coma for 3 days, and I woke up in the hospital.
Was it a hemorrhage? Did you get like a hemorrhage or something?
No, this is what happened, and this is what they told me. I came out of this coma, and I was paralyzed on my left side.
Great.
And it was kind of like this stroke, and this lasted for a year. I couldn't talk, I couldn't read, couldn't write. You know, my guitar playing was finished, you know, because I'm paralyzed. But anyway, they told me that I had that due to that. They asked me if I had been in a car accident recently and everything. But anyway, they said I had some compressed vertebrae in my neck, and this was from that airbag. And you know,
I thought I had a weird life. But listening to
you did
your journeys, oh my God, to Germany, to the airbag, to studying religion, to the art scholarship, and that's probably the least of it. I mean, I'm sure there's tons. I mean, my goodness, you're all over the place.
Well, anyway,
it's like a roller coaster. You're on a roller coaster, man. It's like, wow.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's all I know. This is the only life that I remember. So I don't know, but it's just normal to me, you know. I mean, you know, it's just things happen in life. But anyway, about a year, it took about a year, and I was able to get movement in my arm and on my left side, and I have about 13 years of memory loss from 1996 to 2009. I don't remember almost anything.
So you think when your thoughts are fleeting, it's related to what happened with the airbag?
Oh, I have no doubt about it. And this was one of the struggles early on when this happened, that you know, I would try to talk. I would have these thoughts in my head after this accident, and I would try to talk, but before I could talk, I forgot what I was going to say. And you know, that was really fleeting. It was really frustrating, and then, you know, I was doing a lot of writing. You know, I thought I was writing. You know, I wrote a lot, and I was writing letters and everything. And I look back at these letters, and none of them even, they weren't even. It was like R A B, and I thought I was writing paragraphs and stories.
Whoa.
And it was just a bunch of garbled letters.
Oh my.
None of it was a story. There wasn't even a word in there.
Wow.
So.
All right. So you're doing a lot better now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're so fortunate. You're so fortunate that, you know, you've recuperated quite a bit from being disabled like that. When there's injuries like that, a lot of people, they don't recuperate, you know, they don't get it back.
Right.
You're very fortunate to get it back, you know, even if maybe it's not working, you know, up to speed, but it's functioning and functional. You're really fortunate, especially neck or head injuries. You know, you're really fortunate. It's funny.
Yeah,
you know, the accident was nothing. It was the airbag that caused the problem. The accident was nothing. It was a scratch on a bumper, right? It was the stupid airbag.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard that before. And people who are wearing glasses, sometimes it's like a real problem when the airbag goes off. The glasses, you know, it breaks their nose, and the whole thing's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah, the administrator of the hospital came and talked to me 3 times. This was the administrator of this huge hospital here, one of the finest hospitals in the United States, and she came down 3 times and talked to me, and you know, they couldn't figure out what was wrong, and they kept doing tests, and then they discovered these vertebrae were compressed, and
affecting the nerves and the vertebrae, the nerves.
Yeah, well, my neck never hurt. My neck never hurt. I didn't know anything was wrong, and then I just wake up out of a coma one day. But anyway, you know, I gradually got better. Still have 13 years of memory loss, pretty much. You know, my technique and my physique, playing the guitar. I played the guitar since I was 6. I've been playing for 59 years, and you know, I always thought that if I ever lost my ability to play my guitar, I would just, you know, have to kill myself or something, because you know, it was so much a part of my life. But then, you know, when I did lose the ability to play the guitar, I just saw it as a God thing. Okay, well, I played for all those years and I did okay, and so it's okay with me now if I can't do that as good. I saw the brighter side of it, and I also thought about another thing that maybe I never gave God any credit for my musical ability, and I never gave him credit for that. And so I somehow think, that, well, he's showing me a lesson here. I never gave him credit for that, uh, and so forth. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I'm just,
Hare Krishna.
I'm just,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Yeah, it's really important to stay in the present moment. We have past stuff, and we look back at it, it's like an old photograph, like black and white old photograph, look back at it. But stay in the present moment. Where's Krishna right now, And I notice devotees a lot of times, especially older ones, like that were active in Krishna consciousness when they were young. They just talk about like, when I did this and when I did that, when I wasn't, all in the past, And I'm like, where's Krishna now, And then, or if they're not doing that, then they're worrying about the future. What's going to happen? I got this thing and I get my, and I'm like, no, just stay in the present moment because that's all there is. Where's Krishna right now? You know what I'm saying? Where's Krishna? I said that to, did I write that to you? I don't remember. I said that I had a guest surprise for lunch. And it was nice. They were all into the conspiracy stuff. And so at one point, I just stopped and I said, where's Krishna now? Where's Krishna? They were just blank. And they said, I don't know. I don't know where Krishna is. I'm like, it's in his name. Krishna's right there in his name. And they were like,
Yeah.
Just for a half a second, a little something. So that's our challenge, is to, where's Krishna? Now, right now, And they do it with Prabhupada too. They all go in the past and all that stuff, And it just, it's so many of them because there is such a large history. And a lot of devotees were mistreated, they were victimized, and the Nagurukul, the kids were tortured. And what I see is they blow it way out of proportion. And they can't forgive anybody that when we're in their 20s and weren't qualified to be the headmaster of a school, they didn't manage properly because 5 years before that they were living on the street taking LSD, and now 5 years later they're supposed to be the headmaster of a school. I was like, come on, but they can't let it go. They can't let it go. And they just, they harp on it, and they just go in the past, and they're angry, and they can't forgive each other, and there's no taste. It robs the taste. So that's one thing about Srila Gaura Haridas is he gets angry, and he, but he's in the present moment. Hare Krishna. He's not like super intellectual, but he knows that Krishna is not different from Krishna. He knows that. It's obvious when he's chanting and when he's relating that he's in the present moment. And so, it's like I have a lot of challenges here because these people around me, they've been around the movement a long time and they have a long history of hating everyone that did wrong to them. It's like, it's, so to try to just get everybody into the present moment, and that's the chanting. That's Krishna's gift to us, is the present moment, Hare Krishna, chanting. And then we can feel Krishna's presence, you know, and then all this stuff from the past doesn't, you know, or, you know, it's like, but they seem to be caught up in it, really, really caught up in it.
One of
And that's
the,
the thing, you know?
yeah, you know, one thing about my life is that everything has brought me to where I'm at now. Everything that happened has brought Krishna to my face. He is
I wouldn't
present
change
in my
anything.
life
You
every
know,
second.
I've got stories, you know, of like real nightmare stuff. I mean, I've got
Yeah,
them. What do you think? What do you think? I got through life unscathed. I didn't get
sure.
a bunch of crap dumped on me, and me also inconveniencing others in my ignorance. You know, you think I got, yeah, but you just hit it. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change anything because it all
Right.
goes to
I
Krishna.
agree with you. I wouldn't change
Yeah.
a thing. You know, it's where we're where we're at now.
I don't have any guilt, fear, shame, anger, resentment. I don't have any grudges. I don't have any axes to grind. There isn't anyone I want to get even with.
Yeah.
No. Today, why go there? You know?
Why go there?
Yeah. I'm not a victim.
Yeah.
I'm a
And I
survivor.
don't do drama very well. I don't like drama or negativity. I never have. You know, I've never liked drama. I've never liked, you know, negativity. You know, leave that outside before you come in my house. You know. uh,
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Srila Gauridas used to talk a lot about being emptied out. I don't know if he's talking about it now because he talks about different things. His focus, you know, what he's doing and he used to talk about that a lot. And it was, I really appreciate that, you know, being emptied out so that Krishna can
Right.
fill you. If you're already busy with stuff, there's no room for Krishna. So getting cleaned out, emptied out, hollowed out, like when you play the guitar, right? It's hollow, so it reverberates. You know, Krishna.
Yeah.
Krishna.
I caught that class.
Yeah.
The new wine comes out. We
Yeah,
fill
it's
it
the
with
kind of
new
stuff
wine.
I try and stay in this space because that's where I feel safe, I feel comfortable, I feel Krishna's presence. And then when I'm with other people, they can do it a little bit. Most people can do it a little bit, but then they go into all the other stuff and the conspiracy thing and the virus thing, and you know, they're off and running. So it's Maya's trick, you know. It's the modes of material nature uh, influencing. So I got some challenges here, you know. I get some challenges. And after I spend a little time with some of these people that really do it a lot, you know, it's like I have to recuperate. I just have to, I just got to take a break, you know. And I get angry. And it's like a Shingade thing, you know. Yarr! And it's okay. You know, it cleans me out, you know. Yeah, and Shingade is my buddy, you know. He doesn't put up with nonsense. He gets angry. Yarr! It's good. Yeah. I don't have to do anything to anybody. I don't have to tear him limb to limb. But I do get angry at the nonsense. I get angry at it because it's violence. It's violent. You know, to carry a bunch of crap around and throw it on other people. It's violence. But they don't know how to do anything else. They really don't. They don't have a taste for anything else. They know there's Krishna, but he's over there somewhere. I like that guest for lunch. I said, where is he? I don't know. I don't know.
He's in the next village with Radha.
You know, the demons, they advised Kamsa, you know, don't worry about Krishna. Don't worry about Vishnu. He's in everyone's heart. But he's trapped in there. He can't come out. So don't worry about him. He's in there and he can't come out.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's for me. It's important to read and hear. Hear the Bhagavatam, hear Krishna, hear the Gita. It's like it's really important. It keeps me fresh. It's like when people take pot, right? Did you ever take pot? Did you ever
Okay.
smoke pot? Did you ever?
Did I?
Smoke? Yeah.
I invented it.
Talk about memory loss. There's 2 years I can't remember it all, and it wasn't because of an airbag.
Right. Yeah.
2 years, I blank.
After I got out of high school, after I left high school, I don't want to have anything to do with that crowd anymore. I done it all.
That's just when I got started.
Yeah. Oh.
But what happens, like at least for me, part of my experience on this drug is that because it affects your mind, and your senses, is one thing would lead to another. Sometimes kids play that game. You say a word and it reminds somebody else of another word, and that reminds of another word, and you just keep doing that. Like hair, say curly,
Right.
Curly. Oh, the Three Stooges. Oh, the Three Stooges. Banging on the head. It just one thing reminds them. So with marijuana, that kind of goes on. I don't think it's just me that experiences. It's like your mind's like free floating. It goes here, and then that reminds you of that over there, and then it's kind of fun. It's fun. You're high. One thing's going to another, like that. Well, the experience of Krishna, I'm not talking about drugs now, I'm talking about Krishna, by keeping fresh in descriptions of Krishna, instructions of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, form of Krishna. One thing Krishna goes to another thing Krishna, goes to another thing Krishna. It's being high on Krishna. It's really nice. But if the mind is going, and they did this to me when I was, and that to me a minute ago, there's no room to do that. You can't get high on Krishna.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
Krishna.
Krishna.
You could stay high on Krishna.
Yeah.
Devotees don't know how to do that quite yet. Don't how to be high like that quite yet. Relish topics. Doesn't mean relish topics of Krishna. And then devotees that are very scholarly, one verse reminds of another verse, and they've got the references, but each to his capacity. I don't have that kind of capacity. I can just pull a verse out of the air and recite the Sanskrit.
I think it was in excuse me, I think it was in Chant and Be Happy. It was talking about, Prabhupada was talking about people that were making posters back in the day when he was had his little storefront temple and the Boweries of Manhattan, and people were coming up with slogans, stay high, never come down, and
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I mean, I stay so high on Krishna all the time, and I'm not always like, stumbling around, and I'm not always that high, although that has happened. but I'm always high on Krishna. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy. And it touches my heart. My heart wells up. My tears start flying out. And, it's starting right now. I mean,
Hare Krishna,
I'm,
Hare
I'm so
Krishna.
grateful. And,
Krishna.
just everything becomes love.
Yeah, some of the
Your heart
experiences
gets big.
are so overwhelming. Like I went to the springs. There's some natural springs here with a couple other ladies. One of them is my vintage, old Prabhupada disciple. Her body's a mess. Oh God, she's with a cane and the hip is broken and she's a mess physically. But and then the other one's a little bit younger and she wanted to take, us because we're older. Prabhupada decided it was kind of fun. So she wanted to take us to the springs, And so I was in the back seat and it was intolerable. The conversation was intolerable to me because it was just on such a level and it just stayed on this mundane level. And here, like, it was morning and I had been reading the pastimes of Madhavendra Puri. I was in a whole nother space. And I was like in this, like you're like everything's out there and you're with Krishna. And then they drove by the house and they picked me up and I'm still in that space. And it was like, it was a torture chamber. It was like 45 minutes to the springs. And I was chanting Hare Krishna, but I was like, get me out of here. Get me away from these people. Get me away from this vibration. I don't want to forget you,
I
Krishna.
understand.
I don't want to forget you, Krishna. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. So finally, Krishna gave me a little something to say so that I could bring the conversation up to a higher wavelength. And I did it, and it stayed there for a little while, but they couldn't maintain it, and then it went back down again. But we were finally at the springs, and I'm like, oh, I'm out of this car.
Yeah.
It was like being driven by the Yamadutas to the hellish planets, And I'm
I've
like,
been there
help,
before.
backseat car, Krishna, help, So there's those kinds of experiences, and it's fun. Krishna consciousness is fun. It's real. It's fun. To call out for Krishna in different circumstances, and then you have to process sometimes. Krishna will throw something new at you, like the Judas thing. He threw that at you. You got to process it. He threw that at you. You got to process it. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. There's one thing. Can I share with you a little something?
Absolutely.
In a friendship, sometimes, you trust a person, so you're actually in a vulnerable position. So this is kind of a vulnerable thing for me, and if I can put it out there, because we have a kind of thing where we're able to communicate, which is rare. Like I just went through it with a devotee, is like there's two sides to it. I was on this side with one devotee, and then immediately, almost within a few hours, I was on the other side with another devotee. And what it was the devotee was becoming attached to me. And I know what it is. It's like they think they're with Krishna. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but because I'm always talking about Krishna, and so they're getting attached to me, and it's almost like they think I am Krishna. And then I see they start acting like too familiar, and they want too much intimacy.
I got to plug in. My phone just is about to die.
Uh-oh.
Let me see here. Yeah, my screen went dim. Okay, continue.
So it starts to get like too intimate for me to be comfortable in my Krishna consciousness. It's like they're all over me. They want more, and I'm like, back off, back off.
Yeah.
And I have to learn how to do it so I don't offend them, because I know what it is. They want Krishna, but they
want Krishna.
They're losing the discrimination between spirit and matter. And it
Right.
gets really sticky. And I know immediately when that's happening. I know immediately. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm not going there. So that was starting to happen. And I haven't been real good about it in the past. I've kind of like, punched the person out, just to get them away from me because I didn't want to go where it was going. So, but now it's like a little more gentle because they understand it. So I had to kind of like back them off, and I felt bad because I knew they were going to feel a little pain because they thought it was Krishna. And they're going to feel a little pain. And then that evening, that was in the morning, in the evening, I was at a program and I was on the other end with the devotee. I was the one that thought I had Krishna. I was approaching the devotee very inappropriately, like much too familiar. And I was like, and they had to like kind of go, boom, and then I felt really embarrassed. I was like, oh my God, that just happened this morning and I was on one side of it and now I'm on this. Oh my, this is quick. So I don't know if you kind of can tune in into what I'm trying to share, but it's interesting. And it's something I deal with a lot. People get attached to me and then I get confused, they get confused, or I get attached to someone else and then I get confused and they get confused. Because we want Krishna.
Sure.
And we think we've got Krishna in another person. And then, it gets weird. I think it's part of the purification. Because we're not impersonalists, And so, anyway, that is something that I deal with on a continuous basis.
Yeah.
I think that the spiritual master is the devotee that knows how to deal with that, because to make advancement, people have to become attached to the spiritual master as if they are Krishna. But because the spiritual master is clear in his understanding, he can deal with it and guide the people that are getting attached to him to Krishna and not cheat them. So starting to see some things like that. I guess Krishna told me to share it with you. I don't know. Do what you want with it.
Okay. Thank
If
you.
you can use it, use it. If not, forget it. You may need it in the future.
Yeah.
Krishna Chaitanya.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
You want to chat around?
Yeah, I do. I would
Are you
love
up to it?
Let me get my beads.
Okay.
Let's see. Where are my beads? Let's see.
Where's Krishna?
Where is it?
Where'd I leave him?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Well, I was joking, but it's not funny. I don't know where they are. I'll find them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
The beads are right where you left them last. Meow.
There they are.
I'm gonna have to go let my cat out.
Don't go Joey. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna,
Okay.
Krishna. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna.
Okay,
Hare
let's see
Hare
here.
Rama,
I had to let my cat out,
Rama, Hare Hare.
or he's not going to give me any peace.
Krishna, Krishna. Hare Hare
Let's see
Hare Rama,
here.
Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Purnamada, Purnamida, Purnamada
Hare Hare
Chite,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Purnashi
Rama Rama, Hare
Purnamadaya,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Purname
Krishna,
Vavasishyate,
Krishna. Hare Hare Hare
Shri
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama.
Chaitanya Prabhu
Rama Rama, Hare
Nityananda,
Hare,
Shri
Hare
Advaita
Krishna, Hare
Gadadha,
Krishna. Krishna,
Shri Vasade
Krishna.
Gora
Hare
Bhakta
Hare Hare
Vrinda,
Rama,
Shri
Hare Rama.
Krishna,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Om.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Hare.
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare
Hare Rama.
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna. Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama.
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Ram, Hare Rama, Ram
Rama
Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama.
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Krishna.
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna.
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama,
Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna.
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna. Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama.
Ram Ram,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna.
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama.
Krishna, Krishna
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna,
Hare. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Rama.
Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Rama.
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna.
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama.
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna. Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama.
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna.
Ram, Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare.
Hare Rama.
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna.
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama.
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama.
Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
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 Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
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 Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare Rama Rama
Rama
Rama
Rama
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Rama
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama Rama Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Hare
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 Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Rama
Hare
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 Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Rama Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Rama
Ram Ram Ram
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama Rama Hare
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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare Ram Hare
Rama
Ram Ram
Rama
Ram
Hare
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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama
Ram
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare 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 Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare 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 Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare Hare Hare
Rama
Ram Hare
Rama
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
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 Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare
Krishna
Hare. Thank you,
Hare Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna Hare Hare.
Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Rama
Hare
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 Rama
Rama Hare Rama
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 Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Hare Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Oh
Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Jai
Krishna
Shri Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Chaitanya
Rama Hare
Prabhu
Rama
Nityananda
Rama
Shri
Rama Hare
Advaita
Hare
Avadana
Hare Krishna
Shri
Krishna
Vasari Gora Bhakta
Krishna
Vrinda
Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Rama Rama
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Hare Krishna
Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Rama
Hare
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 Rama
Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hare Rama
Krishna Krishna
Rama Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram
Hare
Hare
Rama
Ram Ram Ram
Rama
Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare 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 Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Krishna.
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare, Hare
Rama
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare
Rama
Ram, Ram
Rama
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Rama
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna.
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Devotee Association Ki Jai
Yeah, Ki Jai.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna. Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Rama,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Rama
Ram, Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare Krishna.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Rama,
Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna,
Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna,
Ram Ram.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Rama
Krishna, Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Krishna,
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Ram,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Rama,
Ram,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram 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 Hare
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 Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Rama, Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Hare
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 Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hmm. It's
Hmm.
almost 11 here.
Is it? Oh, my
Yeah,
watch
it's
stopped
starting-
working. Yeah, okay. Well, let me see here.
Yeah,
What do we
starting
got
to wear
here?
down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost 10 here.
Yeah, it's starting to wear down a little bit here. Battery's running
Okay.
out. My battery, not the. Mm. Well,
It's
that was a
okay.
lot of fun. That was really great, Yeah, thank you for your association and chanting together. Whoa, Krishna. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Krishna Chaitanya. May the force be with you.
It never go away.
And
Thank
guide you through this ocean of it's coming in this way, it's coming that way, it's coming this way, it's coming that way. It's guide you right through.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krishna.
Thank you also for your association and thank you for your time. I enjoyed this a lot.
May
Yeah.
Krishna protect you. Hare Krishna,
I
Hare
need
Krishna,
it. Thank you.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All right.
Yeah. How does that?
Good.
How does that? I never could do that. the Star Trek thing or Star Wars thing. I don't know.
Oh,
It, yeah, I never could do it.
fun.
Oh, you're one of them.
Now you know my secret.
I can do this one. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Till we meet again. Hare Bo. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Gaur Haridas. Hey, Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai Shri Hare Das. Yeah.
Krishna.